Hello everyone, it's me, Michael, and I am making a YouTube video for once. I mean, I haven't done it in so long. I always try to do it and I don't do it, and yeah, it's a very long process when you're not 100% sure what you want to put out and how you edit it and do all the things. Is my camera straight? Okay, and do all the things that, need to be done. But I'm here today and I'm coming to talk to you about Arsenal winning the FA Cup yesterday. We played Chelsea in the FA Cup final and we absolutely thrashed them. We dominated the whole game apart from a 15-minute spell, and you expect that in a game, especially against a team like Chelsea. You rarely see a match where it's completely one-sided and the other team hasn't got a chance. But we played really well. We started with high intensity. I said to my friend, we need to start with high intensity and score first, score early, put the pressure on them. And we did. We got a bit lucky, I must say. Sanchez handballing it. But we played really, really well. And what baffles me is, why didn't we do that all season? Like, Arsenal have been so bad this year. I don't care. Even at the beginning of the season, we were bad. There was no way we played good. We were getting results, but we were scraping them. Apart from when we played Chelsea and an odd team here and there, we played pretty poor. And then when we just dropped out of the league, I went down to 6th, and then we just sat around that area for the rest of the season near the end, especially losing to people like Palace, drawing to Bournemouth 3-3, losing to Watford at home. All those kind of results, I don't know what happened. They just plummeted and gave up. But yeah, we came into the Man City game in the semi-final and we turned up and we were like, why didn't we do that all season, or why haven't we played like that for the recent games? And then yet again we do the same thing against Chelsea. We come in, we dominate, we bully them, we concede a goal that Ospina should have saved, and that's the only way they scored, through a little mistake from our behalf. But then we go and score, was it 60 seconds after their goal? So that was great, and we dominated Chelsea. Everyone wrote Arsenal off. They said Arsenal are going to lose 4-0, they're going to lose 3-0, they haven't got a chance. Pundits said it, or a few pundits and a few football people. The fans were saying it. Even I wasn't confident. I thought we were going to lose to Chelsea. As much as I wanted Arsenal to win, I didn't think. Actually, I wasn't confident that Arsenal would turn up on the day, because Arsenal are hit and miss. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're bad. But the right Arsenal turned up on the day, thank God. And we crumbled Chelsea. We trampled them into the ground. They had no chance whatsoever. Now the key question is for us now, what do we do from here? Well, if we can put performances like that all season, we'd win the league. We all know that. That's what Chelsea have done for the whole season. But we know that's probably not going to happen. Well, we anticipate it's not going to happen anyway. And we need new signings. We need new signings big time. Arsene Wenger's probably going to stay. Let's all be honest. I'd be very surprised if he leaves, because he's come out and said that we're going to know by Wednesday or Thursday. But I'm not sure. I personally think that he's not going to leave. He's going to stay for at least another year, but then there's a report saying there's a 2-year contract. Either way, I think he's staying. If he was going to leave, I think he would have said it by now. I don't think he would have left it till the end of the season. Now he's won the FA Cup, he has a bit more leverage with the board to be like, yeah, look, I've won trophies. So that's 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons, 3 trophies in 4 seasons. They're going to be happy with that, I suppose, apart from not finishing the Champions League. But yeah, I think he's going to stay. I don't really think the Arsenal board are going to get rid of him. But my key thing is the Arsenal board need to tell him to make big signings this summer. I know it's going to be hard because we're in Europa League, but use the name on the badge. Use the name Arsenal and a lot of players will come. Not every player, but a lot of players. That's what Man United done with Pogba. I know Man United are a lot bigger than Arsenal when it comes to reputation, but we're still up there in that bracket. So hopefully we can bring some quality players in. We've already signed a left back from Schalke. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. Well, technically, but I think we've technically signed him. It hasn't been announced, but Arsenal take forever. But Sky Sports Italy and Sky Sports England have both said it's gone through roughly. and he's agreed a deal. It's just when Arsenal announce it. So you know what we're like with Granit Xhaka, for example. Last summer we longed it out for a good 3 weeks, even though it was out. Oh, it got leaked 3 weeks ahead. So we're gonna probably get him from the sounds of it. So that's a left back. He can play left wing, but I think he's definitely gonna be a left back, which is good. He's 6 foot and he's strong. He's meant to have decent pace. He's a bit slow off the start because he's quite stocky, but once he gets going, he's fine. So that looks good. And they've seen this. I've seen the stats for the season, and he has been really good. Apparently, he's got the highest defensive stats out of any defender or left back in the Bundesliga. So that's promising for Arsenal because we need a strong left back. And to be fair, him being 6 foot gives us more height in the box. And Arsenal have always been known for being a small team. Those type of players, you've got Granit Xhaka, you got Koscielny, you're going to have this left back. Mustafi's okay, he's pretty decent at height. But Holding, you name it, we've got a few players like that. If we keep Giroud's there if we keep him, Welbeck's there if we have him. So we've got quite a bit of height in our team, which is very helpful, especially if we go to grounds like Stoke or West Brom or those type of teams. Because against West Brom this season, that's another game we lost. We got done for headers in the box. So if we have taller players, stick taller players on the danger men for headers like McCauley or whoever we're playing. So I think Arsenal need to still invest money into this team big time though, because we haven't got it's a good squad, but it's not a great squad. We need a new striker. We need to keep Sanchez and Ozil. They're the two we need to keep. I would say Sanchez more than Ozil, because Ozil, as much as I love him, he can be replaced. Sanchez can be replaced, but it'll be a lot harder to get some of that quality. So I think we need to keep Sanchez and Ozil, get them signed up. To tell them, look, next season we're going for the league, we're going to push for it, we're going to make big signings this summer, make them feel like we've won 3 FA Cups now, like we've won trophies to us. We're going to make that next push. I know we said we were going to do it earlier than this, but things have happened, haven't gone our way. Let's just push for it next season and just convince them to stay. If we can do that, that's key for us. And it looks like Ozil's more keen to stay now than Sanchez, the way it looks. Like I think Ozil hasn't got the biggest amount of interest because obviously he's more of a luxury player, but Sanchez is such a workhorse and scores so many goals that there's more interest in him. But then apparently Bayern Munich pulled out because Arsenal are offering 300 grand a week, quote 300 grand a week apparently, to Sanchez. I can't see that, but if we have, that's great, and hopefully he accepts. But we need other players along that quality, because I think Mesut Ozil would be a lot better if he had better players around him. Because even people like Pogba at Man United, if you add more quality around him, they're used to playing with quality players, then they'll shine a bit more. The Ozil that I saw on Saturday was amazing. He needs to do that in every big game from now on. He set a standard. And so does Sanchez. So hopefully we can do that. The whole team set a standard, but those two especially Mesut, because he doesn't really turn up in too many big games. He creates a lot of chances if you look at the stats, but in general when you watch him play, he's not so great. But yeah, I think Arsenal need to buy a new second choice right back for cover of Hector Bellerin, because we've got Debuchy and Jenkinson, they're not cutting it. We need a new centre back. I would like Virgil van Dijk personally, or someone along that line. We need a new centre back, and we need, even though Mertesacker played great on the weekend, I must say, against Chelsea, he dominated. If we don't play 3 at the back, Mertesacker can't play. We need to get rid of him. Gabriel, I'm not so sure on, but he's injured. We'll probably end up keeping him. We need, we've got a new left back, so that's okay. I'm not sure if we need another one, maybe less so, but we definitely need a new defensive mid. Granit Xhaka played great at sitting at the back, well, kind of like the back 3, and then he was sitting a bit deeper, and then sometimes he'll swap with Ramsey, and Ramsey go up in the 2. But Xhaka's always better when he's deeper. When he played against Bayern Munich at home, before we got the red card, he was sitting deep, and he was just spraying the balls left, right, and centre. He's got that ability. So we need to play him in that role, but if we don't, and we need someone more defensive maybe to go with him, because Ramsey and him got a good partnership, but we need a defensive mid, because Coquelin is not good. He came on yesterday at left wing back, and he got a yellow card within the first 2 minutes of him being on the pitch, or something like that, and I was really scared, and you could see how technically poor he was every time he got the ball. So we just need to get rid of him. He's a player for a lower team, like a Watford or someone along those lines. Like, you know, like he's okay, but he's not Arsenal. We need to get a new defensive mid. So I'm thinking Fabinho, even though apparently he might go Chelsea, not Chelsea, he might go, well, it could be Chelsea or City, but maybe Bakayoko from Monaco, or I don't know, defensive mid. We need one to back up Xhaka. He's just a little bit more defensive minded, because Xhaka is, but he's a bit harsh in his challenges. So if you've got one that's naturally good at defending and likes defending, beating, holding that position, then it's key. Like Kante's good at that, where he can do both. But you got Matic who sits there and he does that. So we need a player like that. We also need to get rid of Theo Walcott. He is terrible. He is useless. We need a new right winger, because I want Chamberlain to play centre mid, to be honest, or wing back, but it depends where you want to play him. But I prefer him centre mid. I really like him there. So I think we need a new winger. I don't know who we're going to get. I would like to go for someone like Ousmane Dembele, but he would cost about 40, 50, 60 million pounds. 40 would be too cheap, probably 50 or 60 in the current market. And I don't know if Arsenal will pay that for him. And equally, would he want to come, because there's no European football. But then if Wenger does stay, he's got that name, and he's got obviously the players, or the French players that he's brought up through the team, so that could help. But we need someone who can play on the right, and preferably left, that can switch over. So we need about 4 players, I would say, 4 or 5. I did say I would sell 13 players personally out of the first team. I would sell literally 13, but we won't do that in one transfer window. So if I'm trying to be realistic, I'm thinking second choice right back. We've got the left back, defensive mid, a winger, and a striker. We need a striker because apparently Giroud might leave in the summer. We also need backup to Sanchez, or more quality along those lines. Or if we keep Sanchez up front, we buy 2 wingers and have a new right winger and a new left winger. And I wanted Yannick Carrasco, but now he's Arsenal not in Champions League. I don't think he'll come to Arsenal to play Europa League football. If we did, we would have to give him a lot of money and do a lot of negotiating, and yeah, we'd have to convince him a lot. But we need players of that ilk, of that quality in our team, and then we'll be able to push for the league again. But sometimes we don't even need, I would say we don't even need names, maybe, because even if you didn't get Carrasco, I like Thomas Lima from Monaco. Now I know they've sold Bernardo Silva to Man City a few days ago, and they've got a few players going, but Arsenal have been linked with him, and I hope it's a realistic link and a real link, because he's a left mid and he can play attacking mid, and he was linked with Bayern Munich, but I don't know if they're going to get him. But Arsenal, he would be key. He would be really, really good. He's young. He's 20, 21, I think. He's like I said, he can play attacking mid, left mid. He's really good in the ball, and we need a player like that. And even if he's not the biggest name in the world, he's a young player that's very talented, and he's been proven this year in the league. And I think a few years he's been playing quite well for Monaco. So we might not need the names for Tottenham. I hate them, but they haven't got names, but they have got players that work efficiently. That's why they finished above us this season and played so well the last 2 seasons. They've got efficient players that do the job, and we need that. We haven't got that exactly. We've got a few names spotted around, and then a few good players, and that's it. Like, it's not a squad that's gelled like Tottenham's, to be fair. They're not as unified from the looks of it anyway, and they haven't got enough players that will do a shift. Well, we need players that do. They have players that do a shift. We haven't got players that do a shift. So everyone does their job in every position and does it well, and that's what we need. And they haven't got big names. Well, I suppose Harry Kane, Ali are big names, but and they, especially Kane, he's getting to a big name now. But even before, like when he first came in, they wasn't big names. They started playing well, and they just grew and grew as it's gone on. And I think Arsenal will need to kind of mirror that, not copy it fully, but mirror it, and just get efficient players in the right positions that do the job, but with a good quality, and maybe not the biggest names, and then start bringing the biggest names way back in the Champions League. Or bring a few big names in, but get more efficient players just to go alongside them. Like the defensive mids, for example, there's not really a big name in defensive mid, so just get a guy and just look at his, how good he is at sitting in that hole, just passing, his tackling, all those things, and then just get him for the team. Because I always want a 3 in midfield. I know when you have Mesut, you can't play 3. But in certain games, you should be able to drop Mesut Ozil. I know he's the bigger player, but you like for when we play, for example, when we play Bayern, if we had a defensive mid, or even if we have our midfield, I would have played Xhaka, Chamberlain, Ramsey, or say a new defensive mid, Ramsey and Xhaka, or someone along those lines. We need players like that just to have a squad rotation. But Wenger don't like dropping Ozil, so if we do have to play 2 midfield, if regardless who plays Xhaka or Ramsey, Xhaka needs a supporter. It's because he's so slow. Ramsey needs one because he's not the best defensively. So you know we need a player like that. So we need about 4 players. So it's a right back, centre back, defensive mid. Actually, no, more than that. Right back, centre back, defensive mid, winger, striker, or 2 wingers. So we need about 5 players this summer, and that's not including the left back we already have. I don't know, maybe a second choice keeper because, or first choice. I'm not sure if we're going to keep Czech as well. That might be handy. I actually personally like Pickford. I would love Arsenal to buy Pickford. I think he's really good. Maybe not to take over Czech straight away this season, if he does stay that the next season coming up. But even if he was a second choice, but we played in cup games, Europa League games, he'll get enough game time and he will learn from working with Czech, and that would be key for us. And I think he's so good, and he's really good on the ball with his feet, and Arsenal need that. Arsenal need that. So Arsenal need to buy a keeper along those lines, and they need to buy those positions especially, because we lack that competitiveness in our team to fight for places, to have quality players in places, to have players that work in their positions and their positions only. And we need that. We can't be a team that gets bullied anymore. Or, yeah, they've got a few nice players and they turn up sometimes, but we need them to turn up all the time. So when you get efficient players, they know what they're doing in that position, they play it. Normally, if they get into form, they play really well, and then you get some characters as well. Get some people that have personalities, that are not afraid to grab another player, but come here, do your job, get after this guy, watch him, do not leave him all game. Or if we can see, come on, keep your heads up, let's go, keep pushing. Because when we played Bayern, we missed that. We've had worse defences against Bayern with 10 men, or against bigger teams with 10 men, and we've done better. We've had Johan Giroud in the defence and done better against Messi when he's still in his prime now, but when he first got into his prime, where he used to run a lot more than he does now, and we didn't concede as many goals. It was just ridiculous how many goals we conceded against Bayern, especially in the Emirates. We just caved in. Mustafi annoyed me that game as well, and I'm not 100% sure on him. That's why I want another defender to maybe put pressure on him so he has to play better. And apparently Arsene Wenger's not so sure on him as well. So I personally think we need 5 players, 5 or 6 players. I'm not sure we'll buy that many. Hopefully we do, and like I said, they don't all have to be these big names that's going to jump straight into the first team. But we need about 4 of them to be first team players, and then the other ones to be bench players / first team. That could be like they're in that category of they can start, but maybe they can also go on the bench. We need that, and that's what I think. I don't know what you guys think. If anyone does watch this and you're an Arsenal fan like me, tell me how you thought the Arsenal-Chelsea game went, what you thought of the season, and who you want us to buy next season, and what positions you think we should replace them. I can't speak. What position we should buy players in, and if you have any names, let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I haven't rambled on too much, but it's talking about a club, so it's going to be a little bit of rambling, but hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'm Michael. I'm going to try to do this a lot more often. I'm going to catch you guys in a bit, and hopefully I'm going to upload more videos very soon. See ya.